Here we go again. Budget season in the UK and all of the rumours, capital gains tax, inheritance tax, pensions, you name it, it's all about to change. As the only certified fiduciary in the Middle East, AES has been helping globally minded successful families manage their wealth for over 20 years. And here's the truth. You don't have to live in the UK or even be British for the UK autumn budget to affect you. If you've got UK property, investments, pensions, or even family ties to the UK, what the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, says on the 26th of November could matter more than you think. Today, I'm going to walk you through what's being rumoured, what's actually realistic, and more importantly, what you can do right now to prepare without overreacting to all the noise. Now, if you've been watching the headlines, you'll know the Treasury is hunting around for 30 billion in additional revenue. And with income tax, VAT, and national insurance politically untouchable, attention is turning elsewhere. So here's what's being talked about. First up, income tax and fiscal drag. Thresholds might stay frozen beyond 2028, quietly pushing more people into higher tax bands. This is one of the stealthiest forms of tax increases. You don't see it coming, but over time, it nibbles away at your disposable income. Next up, capital gains tax. There's talk about aligning CGT with income tax. That could mean going from 24% up to potentially 45% on certain assets. So if you're planning to sell the UK property or investments, the timing could become critical. And then there's inheritance tax, and this one always grabs lots of attention. Reforms could restrict tax-free lifetime gifting, and we already know that from 2027, inherited pensions will start falling under IHT. That's a really huge shift for wealth transfer. And then there's also property taxation. Landlords could face national insurance on UK rental income, treating it more like employment income. There's even chatter about allowing buyers to spread stamp duty payments over time. That sounds helpful, but it's just another way to keep money flowing into the Treasury. Pensions might also change. Rumours include cutting the 25% tax-free lump sum or reducing high-rate relief on contributions. Both would hit expats with UK pensions or those still contributing from abroad. And finally, there's ISAs. The annual £20,000 allowance, give or take, is likely to stay, but the government could push investors away from cash ISAs and towards equity markets instead, in an attempt to fuel domestic investment. Now, if you're thinking that this all sounds like a lot, you're absolutely right. But here's the thing, no one actually knows which of these changes will actually happen. Not the journalists, not the analysts, and potentially not even the politicians who are already drafting the soundbites this week. And that's the problem. Every year, speculation builds, headlines scream, and people start making rushed decisions based upon what might potentially happen. Last year, we saw this very clearly. There were predictions of sweeping pension reforms, inheritance tax overhaul, even talk about abolishing ISAs altogether. But what really happened? Well, some of the feared changes didn't materialise at all, and others were far, far less dramatic than predicted, but sizable nonetheless. Capital gains tax nudged up just a little bit from 20% to 24%. Stamp duty went from 3% to 5%. But the biggest real change, pensions entering inheritance tax from 2027, wasn't even predicted. Those who waited for facts, not acting on rumour, came out top. Those who did react early, many ended up with unnecessary moves and extra cost. So, what can you do differently this year? It's very simple. Control what you can now. Review your existing arrangements, making sure that you're using all of your allowances, and check how your assets are structured. Are your investments globally diversified? Are your UK holdings optimised in all of the right wrappers? Have you deeply considered the long-term tax position for your family, especially if your wealth crosses borders? At AES, we've always said preparation always beats speculation. Now, that's not just a slogan. It's what's kept our clients safe and ahead for over 2 decades. If there's one habit that I've seen separate the calm from the panicked, it's this. Those who plan for what could happen are never surprised by what does. So yes, stay informed and do watch the budget when it drops, but don't sit there frozen in uncertainty waiting for clarity that may never come. A brief review now, before the 26th of November, could make all of the difference later on. Because when the Chancellor finally does stand up and announce her plans, the people who benefit most aren't the ones glued to all of the headlines, they're the ones who've already stress-tested their life strategy. So here's my takeaway for you. Try hard to ignore all of the noise and prepare intelligently. Because whatever happens on the 26th of November, whether the rumours prove true or not, you'll be ready either way. And that's the kind of calm confidence smart wealth planning gives you. If you found this useful, subscribe and I'll do a follow-up video explaining what actually changed, who's affected, and what to do next.